Oh gosh, she's really been through it. Having experienced abuse in various capacities, this author and life coach has documented how she was able to bounce back from a physical and emotional marriage to inspiring women all over the world. Antoinette Chase is on the line to share her story, and you can find the rest in her book, Planted But Needed Water. We've got it right here. We've got a copy, and we've got Antoinette online. Good morning to you, my love, all the way from Canada, cold, cold Canada, which is as cold as our studio this morning. How are you?
I am blessed. Thank you so much for having me. Good morning, Simone. Good morning to everyone who's watching right now.
It's good to have you. You published this book in November of last year.
Yes.
You dedicated it to your late grandmother and your aunt Janet because they started your nurturing process. Growing up, you had a rough time, Antoinette. Take us back to life as a little girl.
Okay, without giving too much from what is actually in the book, my mom gave me away when I was 3 months old. So my grandma grew me in rural St. Anne. And that was pretty much it from there. The boy, as at 3 months old, I look at a kid who is pretty much not able to do anything on his or her own, and she had to rely on her grandparents or her grandma and auntie to actually take care of her from that age. So that was where my journey started, and my grandma did her best as well. She will my aunt and even my family members will say
Somebody
she
calling you,
was
man.
I know, right? Sorry. She was the one who actually breastfed me. So we know
Wow.
how that is at 3 months old. I remember we used to having to go to the market and as early as possible. And this it was like at age 8 9 years old, right? So we used to go to the market just to survive and stuff like that. But
But
it was really a tough journey.
at 12, you went back to live with your mother. But
At
that was
12, I went
not,
back to my parents.
yeah, not great.
uh, it Simone, I tell you, it was a tough thing. It was a tough decision, and of course, going to live with her at that age, we have to start building relationship because remember, I don't know her, right?
Just
I
from
don't know her,
scratch.
and she had me at 17, and she had me at 17 years old. So we know what trauma she was going through at that time and everything. So
Yeah, yeah.
it
And
was
she
a
was
tough
very
process.
clear with you about the fact that she, should not have had you and all these other things. And she essentially told you that you would probably amount to the same thing or
Yeah,
end up
definitely.
in her situation. But you were intent to not make that happen. But you went through
Yeah.
this rough patch. You left Jamaica, you went to Canada, and essentially found yourself fending for yourself alone in Canada.
Mhm.
Warm clothes, warm meals, who would you turn to? But somehow you went through that and you made it work. Talk to us.
You have to the decision, first of all, the decision, and which I talk about in the book as well, the decision to move from Jamaica to Canada is just that at that point in my life I needed a change. I needed a
A
change.
palate
And
cleanse.
yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes sometimes you find yourself in a position where you just needed to make a move. To me, that was my push to actually make a change because I wanted to have kids and I didn't want to raise my family the way in which I actually grew up. So I wanted to make that change. As the first person to go to university, I was the first person in my family to graduate from high school. So to me, these were success coming from the garrison as well, and being the child that was not wanted. So indeed it was a drive. Even coming here to Canada, it was such a tough process because not having the support system. People often look at you and say, okay, when you gone to foreign, yeah,
Yeah,
Isabella
man,
Rose, and
prosperous. Everything changed and you get
yeah.
rich and everybody's looking to you as they were even when you left and were trying to make your own way. You had family members here looking to you to make a way for them as well, even while you were struggling. Your
Ex-
marriage to Antoinette was a tough time in your life. It ended in divorce in 2015, but it could have cost you your life, no?
100%. It was such an abusive relationship was such an abusive relationship, Simone, and I don't want to go too much in it, but let me just give you a synopsis. Oftentimes, women, we tend to say, oh, you know, I'm a husband, and worse, if you're a Christian, you have that image where you have to maintain. You have to maintain the marriage, or you have to look a certain way because you don't want people to look at you at a certain way. Nothing like that. Sometimes you have to make a move, especially when it comes on to your safety. So I had to decide, okay, it's either he's gonna kill me, or I am going to kill him. And I decided that, you know what, it's time for me to choose me.
Yeah.
And I made a decision to move.
Yeah. So what's been the response to the book since you published? I'm sure it was cathartic for you. What are other people saying about your brave decision to put this on paper so it can inspire other people?
It's a life-changing experience, because persons have been coming to me and Simone and said, Antoinette, you changed my life, or I didn't know that you went through all of that. I didn't know that you got through all of that. You went through all of that, and look at you now. You don't need to look like what you have been through. You don't need to look like what your struggles are. Mm-hmm. And that is one of the things that I constantly remind female about. Despite of everything that you're going through, push yourself. You never know how strong you are until you decide to make a move on your own. If you're going to wait on somebody to push you, then honey, you will not be going anywhere. Sometimes you just have to decide to make a move. And that is some of the feedback that I'm getting. Antoinette, if you did it, why is it that I am not able to do it? Mm-hmm. When I pick up myself to come to Canada, it was me alone. There was no support system. There was nothing in place for me. I decided that I want a change. I need to make a move. And I decided that I was going to do it without any plans.
Yeah. I think
not saying that you're supposed to do that.
Right.
If you don't have the drive, if you don't have the strong will.
Yes. The disclaimer is important, because when I find oftentimes when, you know, we get on the other side of things, and we talk about it as you're doing now, you know, somebody else might be watching and saying, but she makes it sound so easy. It's not. No. And how she just get up and do it? No, it takes time. So you went through your suffering, and you went through your years of, you know, trying to get yourself to that place until you were there. And sometimes it takes time, but you just have to keep going until you can find that will. I think that's the 100%. Message that you want to transmit to people, right?
100%. Yeah. That's definitely what I want to say. 100%. And push yourself. Sometimes we have so much in us. Mm-hmm. We have so much in us, Simone, that sometimes we don't even realize. We don't even realize what we are truly capable of. And this is something that I want to encourage persons to do. I'm not saying that you don't need help or you don't need support system, but test you, find out what is it that you are capable of doing. Trust me, try surprising yourself. Surprising yourself at some point.
I'm right there with you. I'm so grateful to you for writing this book. It's called Planted But Needed Water. It's available on Amazon, on Kindle. Where else?
Book depository, or if you send me a direct message on my Instagram page, that's AntoinetteChase.k, then we'll be able to send it out to you. We also have persons in Jamaica who are doing distribution as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Antoinette. Great catching up with you this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good to have you. And we're sending sunshine your way from sunny Jamaica
to
cold Canada. Author, life coach, and motivational speaker, Antoinette Chase. And that is it for this week's Off the Shelf.